20 years ago, 20 years ago, a seed was planted and cared for. We painstakingly nurtured it and weathered it against adversity until one day it blossomed and the fruits of our labor began to show. Today, millions have learned, shared, and been inspired by what our community has produced. We proudly served 21 million users from 204 countries in 2019. For our 85,000 technical articles, code samples, and videos, our 450,000 forum questions, and our highly anticipated conferences and events featuring keynote panels, live streams, and industry experts and influencers. We recognize and reward members for their dedication to the community. Through content contributions and mentorships, we ranked number 2,620 in the world with a reach of millions across our social media channels. Thanks to you, our global community of software and data developers grows stronger each day. For more information, visit us at csharpcorner.com.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Growth Mindset Show. I can't hear myself. That's not good. Let me reset. Hello. All right. Simon, can you hear me? You good?
We can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Okay, awesome. All right. Welcome to this another episode. I'm here in San Diego today. You may see that my background is a little bit different. I'm not in my room, not in my office. Good morning, everybody. I see Rohit, MD joined, Jitendra joined. Welcome to the show. I'm doing this show from an Airbnb room, so I hope you can hear me just fine. Today, interesting show. I think we're going to have a guest on the show as well. And we're going to talk about patience and persistence. Actually, I wrote an article a while ago, I think several years ago, and recently one of our MVPs, I think it was MD, who commented on that, and I read that article like, wow, what a crappy article I wrote. There were a lot of spelling, grammar, everything mistakes in there. So I kind of rewrote that article. So it was on the homepage recently. Maybe Simon can bring it up. But I thought I'll talk about the same thing, the patience, right? Patience is important when you want to be successful in your career. So that's one we think we'll talk today. Today we also have a very exciting news announced. It's just announced. Let's see. I'm looking at C# Corner's Twitter. Can you guys guess what this is? Yeah, check this out. C# Corner Annual Conference 2022 is announced. And this time it's much bigger. And look at that. I'm looking at the website. You can see it's in 5 cities we are doing this time. 5 cities starting on October 8th. And it's going to start with Chennai. And then we're going to end this conference in Delhi on October 16th. So we had this plan for a while, like we should do multi-city conference because we have people, C# Corner audience. When you look at C# Corner audience, I think right now Hyderabad, Bangalore, Hyderabad is I think number 1 city from traffic wise, and then Bangalore, then Pune. Those are combined. So we kind of covered these multiple cities in this conference. So we'll start with Chennai, Ahmedabad. We have Hyderabad, Mumbai, Jaipur, and Delhi. So check out this website when you get a chance. Don't leave now. Don't leave my show. Go after the show on breaks. And definitely share this and let everybody know the conferences are now. So let's quickly look at this website. Just come down more. We already have, our 5, 6, 7 speakers announced, the good ones. We're going to keep adding new speakers. Announcements coming. As you can see, all good friends: Alan, David, Joe, Magnus, Shal, Lalit, and Praveen. They're all already coming there. So there'll be a lot more people announced. It's going to be a big one. So check it out. And if you are local to one of those cities, if you are MVP or not MVP, maybe you want to get involved, help us out, organize that conference in local cities. Um, so there is a ticket, but its ticket is not for every city. These conferences, 4 conferences are free. I said the Chennai, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Jaipur, they're free. And Delhi one is the paid, and it's paid because we're gonna have a hotel and food and all that. So we're gonna figure this out. But this more details are here. Yeah, so check that out. All right, so that was one announcement. Maybe we should bring our guest in, Simon, our guest in today. If not, we continue talking. David, all right, so I'm here in San Diego, um, and while I was going through the website, I saw this article, patience. And the reason I want to talk to you about the patience is that when I started my career, and this is real life story, I started my job. I'm working in a company. I'm a little young, I wanted things to move faster. And if things don't move faster, I get frustrated. You ask for something in your company, it's not happening, you get frustrated. You ask, you ask something, I don't know, about your HR or about your project, and this things move slow in general, right? You get frustrated. And obviously we all get frustrated. Um, and then what happened? I came to the US. I was working in a company, and I asked certain things to the company CEO, and things didn't move fast. Like, this is bad company. And then if you fast forward this, 25 years when I run my companies, and I now see sometimes some of our young employees, they send email about certain things like, can we get this done faster? So, when you put yourself in those shoes, you realize when you're running a company, the priorities of company as a whole are different than as an individual, right? So, and the point I'm making is that sometimes you may want things faster, and I'll give you some examples, okay? But it doesn't mean things are gonna move faster, right? And you can chime in, post your comments and all that. And for example, um, let's take an example, right? If and I grew up on a farm. When you grow up on a farm, you have crops, right? So you have crops. Let's say, I don't know, wheat or rice, doesn't matter. When you or a tree, right? Even you plant a tree, for example, you plant a mango tree. Oh, I planted mango tree back in my house, and it died. So when you plant a mango tree, for example, you want mangoes. Obviously, that's the goal. You're planting mango tree. You want mangoes from mango tree. Uh, but to get those mangoes, it's gonna take so many years because the tree has to go through the life cycle. Just because you want mango or I want mango right now doesn't mean I'm gonna get mangoes. Same thing with um, same thing goes to everything. So just because I want mangoes doesn't mean the tree is gonna start working faster for me to give me the mangoes. Deepak, welcome to the show. Um, So point I'm making is that, and let's take one more example, right? So we know that in our universe, all planets they revolve around the sun, our sun, right? The reason they revolve around the sun is the gravity or whatever scientists say, blah blah. But sun is also source of energy and life on our planet, at planet Earth. We know that, at least that part is proven. So Sun is center of the universe. You as a part, when you work as an employee in a company, you are not part of that universe. You are not the center of the universe. You are a part of the universe, sure. You're not the center of the universe. That means things don't revolve around you. Same thing, I get these messages from people. Oh, I sent you message on LinkedIn, you didn't reply, right? I'm same way. You go to LinkedIn, you try to connect with somebody, they don't reply. I go on Twitter, I connect with the, I don't know, CEO of that company, and they don't accept my request. How many times you get frustrated? You send somebody a message on WhatsApp or they didn't reply. How many times you get frustrated? Do any of you guys get frustrated? By the way, let me ask this question. And if you do get, just reply me yes, no, when did you get frustrated? So we can even take some examples. And you can ask some questions too. So yeah, post your comment when you get frustrated when somebody let me ask you this. Did you send anybody a message or call or email when they didn't reply and you got frustrated? Many times. Anybody else? Keep them coming. So we all do. We all do get frustrated. You're not just you, MD. So why? Because that is our priority. That is your priority. So when you send message somebody, email, text message, doesn't matter what kind of message or call, and they don't reply you back, you get frustrated. Why? Because we all have our universes, okay? As a person, I have my own universe. In my universe, I'm the center. And in that center, I have my family, my friends, my work circle, C Sharp Corner, my hobbies, all those things, people around me and things around me and companies around me. That's all my universe. And in that universe, I'm the center of that universe. Things revolve around me because that's my universe. Same thing, all of us, all of you, each of you have also a universe. For example, when you go home with your family, you are the universe because your mom, your dad, your brothers, sisters, relatives, they all revolve around you. Okay? Same thing like that. It applies to every living thing on this planet also, right? So with tree has its own universe. Things around tree, trees, birds coming to tree, all that. So we all have our universes. In our universe, we are the most important entity. In my universe, I'm the most important thing. Right now, if you're trying to get to somebody else, you are stepping out of your universe. Okay, think of universe, think of like a circle. Have you seen one of those circles on Twitter when Simon posts like, "Oh, this is my universe" on Twitter, where says, Simon, you are in the center. Maybe you can share a picture there. You are in the center, and then a bunch of people close to you, then another circle, then another circle. So wider this circle gets, now you are trying to reach to somebody else, and it's like outside of your universe. In their universe, they have different priorities. They are the center of attention. You are not. So their priorities are different. So what does that mean? Point I'm making is that just because you have certain things in your priority does not mean they are priority for somebody else. It's really simple. Does that make sense, guys? Does it clear that to you? Once you understand this, you will never get frustrated. You gotta be just patient because they may reach to you in 2 days later, 3 days later, or maybe never. If you are not priority to me and you send me a message, and I have other higher priorities, I may never get to you. So that's one thing I want to talk about today. So whenever you're thinking about this, anything that frustrates you, think about that. It's okay if they're not responding, and just relax. If you're trying to reach somebody, I'll give you more example. If you ask me questions, I think I can help answer better, but I'll take my example. Um, I'll take my. Oh, by the way, I have COVID for last four days. Today seems to be a little better, but the last 3 nights has been pretty bad. I had fever. I got the bad one. It's not asymptomatic. It's the real active one. Um, yeah. So I'm stuck in a room pretty much for 4 or 5 days. Hopefully, 2 3 more days before I fly back. If not, I'll be staying here longer. So, am I making sense? If I am, yes. So, point I'm making is that just because you want something move at your speed, it doesn't mean it's gonna move. Things gonna move at their own speed because Earth, for example, Earth is gonna move at its own speed. Sun is gonna move at its own speed. Just because we want the next tomorrow to come early, it's not gonna happen. It's the same principle applies to all of us because we are part of this planet and universe and Earth. I mean, that's how it works, right? Thank you, Deepak. Um, So that said, that's one of the things kind of I want to cover on today, patience. And now, second topic I want to cover today is the persistence. If you and in my article, that article, if you read, I have given some example also in the end. There's a picture there, Simon. Um, when you're trying to achieve something you really want to do, uh, wait, there should be an image there. What happened to the image? A bunch of people's in it. Move up, move up, move up. Okay, what happened to the picture? Okay, I post the picture of bunch of. Alright, that's not good. I might have put it something wrong. Alright, I'll ask them. We'll ask the guys. Yeah, there was a picture with a bunch of Harrison Ford. Yeah. So point is that it's so you're trying to get something like you say you're starting your startup or your company or job or even writing a book, right? So anything you're trying to do, or you just join a company and you want to grow that department, or you have a program you want to make your program successful or your project successful. Um, things not going to work your way sometimes, and I would say most of the time there'll be times in your, let's say you started a project and you have delivery date, or things gonna sometimes take time. They'll be slow. They won't go your way, right? And we are kind of comparing this with our programming lives. um, it doesn't mean you get frustrated and give up on that, and that's what my example I was showing is that if you look at the any of these successful people. Um, and I'll give you examples. Let's start with, I can't really read. I'm going to open the C# Corner article here. Success. So yeah, if you have not read this article, definitely read it. But I'll give you example, right? And hopefully, so first thing is you have to be obviously patient. We already talk about that because a lot of people ask me, "Oh, I want to become an architect, software architect, but I want to become tomorrow because not today." Things don't work this way. If to become an architect, you have to learn certain things, right? And usually it takes them 15, 12, 15 years, depending on how fast you can move. So it will take you 15 years. So you gotta be patient with that and keep doing that. So let's look at this. How many people, right? You are not alone, right? So Steve Jobs, for example, I'll give you Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs started Apple Computers with his partner, Steve Wozniak. And things weren't going back good in the beginning. Like it took them a while, and finally Apple took off, and then Steve left. And what happened? Jobs hired this another guy. At that time, he was a John Scully. Yeah, he was I think a Pepsi co-founder, CEO or something, or whatever. So things didn't go well. They fired Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs traveled, and I know he went to India and a lot of other things. But he came back later. Apple was in a bad position at that time. They even took Microsoft even invested $150 million in them, and then Apple became one of the first companies, trillion-dollar companies. So, and if you look at the lot of quotes and read any of the quotes Steve Jobs says, it's basically same thing. It's like if you love something, you just keep doing it, right? So you just keep doing it. That's really it is. And sometimes half of the time he says that half of the what separates successful people is the one who just don't give up. It's that simple. And you look at Abraham Lincoln. His everything went wrong. It's like he lost these. He was in obviously politics, and he lost all these things many times, and he didn't give up, and eventually become the president, right? Um, Steven Spielberg, people told him that he didn't get actually. Obviously, he's trying to become a whatever, I don't know what you call that person, but director, I guess. He didn't get admission three times. They kicked him out, but eventually he become one of the, look at his movies now, right? He's probably the most, um, what's the right word, you know, decorated, if I would say, or known director of all times. Michael Jordan, for example. In high schools, there's a varsity team and there's JV team. Michael Jordan didn't get selected to varsity team in high school, and he's probably the greatest player ever played basketball game. Same thing with Harrison Ford. So there's so many stories about these successful people that persistent is the key. If you really want to do something, you have to do, and you have to like it, and you have to love it. You can, just because things didn't work out for short term doesn't mean you give up and jump on something else. Because if you're jumping on something else which you don't like, chances are it won't be where you want to be, right? Because you'll be coming back to the things you like. So those are the two things really I want to kind of cover. I wanted to cover in today's episode. And look at that. The last in this episode, we have other things too. We're going to cover more on these. I'm going to rewrite some of these articles because they're really old articles. With that said, looks like we supposed to have a guest today. Is it David back? Let me see. Still, David's not here. Okay, looks like David can't make it. Yeah, so I'm here in San Diego. It's a West Coast. West Coast is 3 hours behind East Coast, so it's early. It's 9 a.m. right now here, 9:30. We started 9 a.m. We thought David will come. So that with that said, if you have any questions, anybody wants to ask anything, chat. If not, that's pretty good. Yeah, I still have COVID. I finally got it. I was staying away for many, I said 2 and 3 years so far, but yeah, this got me bad. But hopefully, in a couple of days, it'll be over. I might just test myself today at home to see how it is. Nothing else, Simon? Anything else you want to announce? Oh yeah, there's one more announcement. Really, maybe we will do that on tomorrow. We will do that tomorrow on David's show. That's what we will do. We have a big announcement to make also here in the San Diego. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna announce that tomorrow, most likely at David's show. So with that said, guys, everybody, thank you, everybody for joining us. Yeah, thank you everybody for joining us, and check out the conference website. And if you're local, want to participate and help the conference, just reach out to the right people. With that said, everybody, enjoy your weekend. Thank you.